Hello, everybody. So today I want to talk about change. So there's been a lot of changes in the world, and lots of my clients are working out how to cope with things and change things to address um, their business and everything else going forward. So there's been a lot of research into change management. It's been going on for years, frankly. I think the stats show that about 30% of most change projects succeed first time round, which is brilliant. And as I said, there's lots of sophisticated research. There's some fantastic stuff out there on change management and how to deal with it, and new research going on all the time. But one of the models that we do use, which is really quite simple, I think, and a great place to start if you've not really thought about your projects and their likelihood of success. So this is really quite a simple model which has been around for some time, and it's DVP. So when we're looking at change, there's three factors that we need to consider, and the first one is the level of dissatisfaction with the status quo. So what we find quite often is actually the people that are running a current process or the people that are working in an organisation are quite happy with the current setup. So they're not particularly seeing any need to change. And if there's a low dissatisfaction with the current scenario, then that obviously has a significant effect on the likelihood of change. So this dissatisfaction area is really answering the question is why do we need to make this change? And then the V area is the vision. So what people need to know is what it's going to look like when the change has been made. So this is really the where question. So if we make this change, what is it going to look like for us going forward? And that needs to be clearly explained and communicated to the team. And then the third element is the plan, which is the how question. So quite simply, how are we going to get from where we are now to where we want to be? And quite a useful way to use this tool is if you're looking at various projects or trying to think about implementing change in the organisation, is to give yourself a score out of 10 for each of the factors. So what's the current level of dissatisfaction with the status quo? How clearly have we explained the vision of where we're going to end up? And how robust is our plan? And what you'll see is if you say, well, actually, most of the people within the organisation don't understand the challenges we're facing, the things that are coming down the road, so that's probably quite low. Let's give that 2. Let's say that the management are quite clear and they've tried to explain to people what the business looks like going forward, so we'll give that a 6. And then let's say we've got a reasonably clear plan in terms of how we're going to get there. So if you had a 2, a 6 and a 5, you'd actually be doing quite well. So you'd be multiplying that out. You think, 60, that doesn't sound too bad, does it? If you multiply the bottom line, the 3 10s though, you very rapidly come up with a score of 1,000. So you've got a 6% chance of success with this project. So what do we need to do to improve the chances of success? Well, clearly we need to better explain to people why the changes need to be made. And I think a significant element of that is the what's in it for me. So for the individuals within the team that need to make the change, they need to understand what's in it for them. We perhaps need to be clearer in communicating our vision for the future to the people. And then we need to improve the robustness of the plan to get there. And by doing that, we can lift the percentage overall, much more likely to succeed. The other thing the way we can use this tool is if we're looking at several change projects that need to be undertaken, we can perhaps assess which one we ought to start with because it may have a higher likelihood of success. And once you start implementing change projects that succeed, then you tend to get more support for future change projects, the opposite to change fatigue. So that's the DVP, that's a model for change. Lots of change going on at the moment. Just a simple tool to use to give you some kind of idea as to the areas you might need to look at to make your change project more successful. So thank you for listening. See you next time.